Good morning, happy Thursday. All right, I really liked this article right here. The housing correction takes an unexpected turn. Well, it's only unexpected if you haven't been paying attention and checking where we are daily like we have and watching those interest rates. So we continue to see the interest rates fluctuate. We were at as low as 5.05%. Today we're at 5.5%. But like this article says, is that we trended up and then have been coming back down and pretty normalized at that 5.5 mark for interest rates, which is good news for buyers and sellers as we moderate. All right, let's jump right into our hyper local markets, and we're gonna start with two cities and two counties. So we're gonna do Suwanee, Duluth, and Cherokee, and Dawson to give you an update on those. All right, we're gonna start with City of Suwanee, and here's where we're at. Month supply of inventory here is 3 month supply in the 300 to 350 range. What's interesting about that is with the uptick of inventory, you might think that you'd see sales price to list price drop, but we did not. We actually saw it go up to 105% sales price to list price. The next big anomaly here that I wanna point out is that 500 to 550. We see 3 month supply of inventory, but again, holding over 102% sales price to list price here. And then let's look at 550 to 600. Really big anomaly. We see the number of month supply of inventory come down to only 2 months, and there were 12 sales in this price point last month, and yet the average sales price to list price, 97%. So very interesting there. So if you're looking to list or buy a house in that price point in Suwanee, keep an eye for that. 600 to 700, 3 month supply of inventory there. And then we're gonna jump up from the 800 to a million, 4 month supply of inventory, yet 101 to 103% sales price to list price in those categories. And then the 1 to 2 million, 8 sales took place, and 2 month supply of inventory in that price point, 105% sales price to list price there. So luxury market not taking a hit in Suwanee. Now let's jump over to Duluth. Here we go. All right, so 250 to 300. This is interesting. 5 month supply of inventory, only 2 sales took place in that price point, and usually that is for an investor's heaven, so we will keep an eye there. Something seems interesting to watch. All right, so 300 to 350, 2 month supply of inventory, 350 to 400, 3 month supply of inventory, yet all of those are selling at 100 to 101% sales price to list price. And let's go ahead and jump up to 500 to 550, 6 month supply of inventory, 100% sales price to list price. Now here's where it gets wonky. 550,000 to 599.9. I always just say 400. 7 month supply of inventory in Duluth. Only 2 sales in that price point. 13 active with an average days on market of 79. 88% sales price to list price ratio, and 7 month supply of inventory. Again, that's in Duluth in that 550 to 600 range. That is a big anomaly here in this pricing. So when we say that things are hyper local, it is so true. All right, 600 to 700. Again, we were just at 550 to 600 with those numbers. 600 to 700. 2 month supply of inventory, 101% sales price to list price. So if I'm somebody thinking that my house is worth 550 and I'm saying, hey, you know what? If my agent says I can put maybe $10,000 in this, but get me up into that next price point because of the added value of putting some money and investment into it, the rate of return can be very big. And that's where studying these reports and having an agent that understands that is imperative because it will impact your bottom line. All right, the next big anomaly here, 900 to a million, 3-month supply of inventory, 86% sales price to list price, and then 1 million to 2 million, 5-month supply of inventory, 92% sales price to list price. So there's definitely some opportunity there in that luxury market in Duluth. All right, so let's hit the last 2 counties very quickly. Cherokee, here we go. Let's jump in. Biggest anomalies that I want to show you here in this chart, and if you want more details on this, always feel free to email me, andreawright@kw.com, or of course you can DM me on any of the social platforms that this is on. But the big things right here in Cherokee County, 500 to 550 is where this starts. And everything before that really is looking at 100% sales price to look like price or more, except from 500 all the way up to 800, 99%, 98% sales price to list price. And we're looking between 2 and 4 months supply of inventory. That has been moving much faster in Cherokee, as we have been going back to the old adage, drive till you qualify. And so driving farther out to get more affordable housing. And it looks like that 500,000 plus is starting to suffer as prices have moved a little bit more affordable in a bit closer. And so we're seeing that show up. The biggest other thing I want to point out here is that $1 to $2 million price point, 5-month supply of inventory, 98% sales price to list price. So if you're in that luxury market and want to look in Cherokee, there is some opportunity there. Now let's talk about Dawson, because there are some big neighborhoods up there, Chestatee, as well as others that are surrounding the lake. And so this has been a very, a market that has had a lot of push towards it, and they're building quite substantially up there. So let's take a look at Dawson and just see what the anomalies are here. And we're looking at that 400 to 550 mark, only 4 to 3, so it's 4-month supply of inventory and then 3-month supply of inventory, with 105% sales price to list price in that 500 to 550 range. And that's really showing those neighborhoods that have been driving a lot of people to that area, and that's those price points. But here's where the change happens: is the $600,000 to $800,000 price point, 9-month supply of inventory, huge jump. And if you look at 700,000 to 800,000 right here, take a look at that, 88% sales price to list price. And then we move over to 900 to $1 million, 7-month supply of inventory, huge increase in a 1 to 2 million. 19-month supply of inventory on the market with 95% sales price to list price. I hope this helps you set up your strategies and make sure that you're diving into this as you're looking at home values, pricing, and where to best position yourself in the market. Have a fantastic Thursday, and don't miss, you're invited to our business meeting next week about how to make actions that align with the current market to jump ahead. So, want information? AndreaWright@kw.com or DM me. Have a great rest of your day.